you can't coach that. That's just... What's up, guys, and welcome back to another video on the World XP Soccer channel. We've got another weekend roundup for you today. As always, starting off with Borussia Dortmund, 3-1 winners away at Arminia Bielefeld. Very comfortable, I think, for us, even with the injuries to Erling Haaland and Zagadou and a few others, are both right backs injured. Moved to a 3 in the back formation. I think probably it was lucky that we played Bielefeld at this time. No disrespect to them, of course, but it was comfortable. It was comfortable, and they are a weaker side in the Bundesliga. It was good to see Emre Can keeping us cool from the spot. Hummels with a worldie, and Bellingham carving through the defense for the third goal to put it to 3-0 before Fabian Klos grabbed a consolation with a penalty. Only negative I would take out of that game is that we didn't keep the clean sheet, but I think we played better. We looked sharp, sharper in the second half, I should say. I think the first half was a little sloppy. You could see that we were missing some pieces. Guerrero out, Scholes out, so Thorgan Hazard was playing left wing back, and it just wasn't. If we played like that against a better opponent, I don't think we would have come out with 3 points. But at the end of the day, we got the 3 points, and that's what matters. And so if we look at the table, we are 1 point behind Bayern, and obviously massively behind in goal difference. But we're right there. We're right there. Freiburg, that loss at the beginning of the season doesn't look so bad now. They're still unbeaten in third place, 2 points behind Dortmund in third. But yeah, I think we'll take it. I think we'll take it for the time being. We're keeping pace, and that's what matters. Bayern 4-0 winners at Hoffenheim, maybe at home to Hoffenheim. Were they at home? They were at home to Hoffenheim. That's one of those things where it's what you'd expect, right? 2-0 for most of the game. Hoffenheim opens the game up to try and get something out of the game to get a point, and then Bayern nabbed 2 goals on the counter. It's kind of... they're just that good, aren't they? Bayern Munich, the quality they have is unreal. Leipzig 4-1 winners at Fürth, which is good for them to get back on track after throwing away that 2-1 lead at PSG, or against PSG, which is tough, right? PSG is a good team, but it's good to see them getting back to winning ways. I hope Jesse Marsch does well, obviously, and then again Wolfsburg losing again, coming all the way back down to earth against Freiburg. Freiburg beat them 2-0. Freiburg looking decent, I would say. I don't think that we can say that they're a surprise anymore. They might come back down to earth like Wolfsburg did, but it's been 9 games now and they've not lost. Granted, they've not played Bayern, but they did beat Dortmund, and so that's a big win for them. All right, moving on to the Premier League. Before we get to Liverpool United, Chelsea absolutely killed Norwich. Norwich is looking more and more like the championship team. This is what happened when they were promoted 2 years ago, and they went straight back down. For whatever reason, when the last couple of seasons, whenever a club gets promoted, whenever the 3 gets promoted, there's always one that does super well and finishes like mid-table, right? Sheffield United a couple of years ago, Leeds last year. This season it's looking like it's going to be Brentford, but Watford are also playing well. And then there's always one that just goes straight back down, and you're looking at like towards the end of the season, oh, are they going to get the lowest points total? This season again is Norwich shown here. Obviously the red card didn't help, but I'm pretty sure they got a red card. Yeah, red card in the 65th minute didn't help, but by that point it was already 4-0. So you're kind of, yeah, not much really to be said about that. Doesn't tell us really anything about Chelsea. We know they're a quality side, but that's a side they should be beating, and they did. The other surprise result is Watford beating Everton 5-2. For those that are cycling GK fans, that's awesome, because you know that video that's coming out probably today, maybe yesterday, is going to be a happy one. And I think Watford deserved it. If you look at the balance of play, they had more chances than Everton did. But if you're an Everton fan, you have to look at that as points dropped. If they win that game, they're sitting in 5th. So you got to look at that as points dropped for Everton. Watford, though, another big win. 10 points from the first 9 games. Not bad. Not a bad goal differential either. And then the other promoted team, Brentford, doing quite well in 12th. Now, I do want to make note of the City-Brighton game. Brighton, I like the way they play, but this is what happens when you play that man-to-man style, that pressing style against a team like City that just has immense quality. You just get cut apart, and that's just the way it is. Brighton will do great. I think they'll push for a European place. They're currently sitting in 5th. But yeah, I like the way Graham Potter's playing, and who knows, he might end up as the next manager of Manchester United, because United got thrashed, as everyone knows, 5-0. I struggle with this one a little bit, because in some sense, I want to say, right, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he can't make Harry Maguire more athletic, right? The man can't move. Like, for example, the second goal, the Jota goal, Robertson plays a ball in, and Maguire and Shaw basically both go for it, run into each other, and it pops out to Keita, who plays it through to Trent, who squares it. You can't, regardless of the coach, if you have players doing that, like, you can't coach that. That's just the play. Like, at the end of the day, the players on the field have to make the decisions, right? And they have to perform. And that's one where they didn't. With that said, though, the other example of that I'll say is the Salah's third, I think second or third. The one where Pogba, it must have been the third, because Pogba lost the ball. So Pogba loses the ball in midfield in a horrible position. And I don't recall if he was put under pressure by a bad pass or whatever. But at some point, you got to know to, like, either just hit it one time long, because as a player at that level, you know that the only 2 people behind you are the center backs. So he loses the ball. Henderson, one touch, through ball, Salah's in on goal. But you can't, like, as a coach, the player has to know to make a better decision there. But with that said, you can't really, like, the way that the teams were set up, it just didn't work for United. And that's because of the mentality that Klopp has instilled in the Liverpool team, which is a coaching thing. So at the end of the day, we all know Solskjaer's not a world-class coach, right? We all know that. He's not Thomas Tuchel. He's not Klopp. He's not Zidane. He's not Pep. He's not... I mean, that's kind of it, really. But who's going to replace him, really? Is people say, oh, he needs to go. It's like, for who? Zidane? That'll be expensive. Conte? That'll be expensive. Is Conte going to get on with the attacking players they have? They have a very attacking team. Rashford, Sancho, Greenwood, Ronaldo, Fernandes. That's not how Conte plays. Conte plays with 3 at the back. Who are the center backs that United have? Maguire, Varane, Lindelof, Bailly. If one gets hurt and he wants to play 3 at the back, they don't have the depth at center back to do that. Wan-Bissaka, in my opinion, is not good enough attacking to play as a wing back. He is an amazing fullback. I would not want to play wing on his side. He's immense 1v1 defending. He's really good. Like, probably the best defensive fullback that England have, I think. But that doesn't offset the, like, if you're talking about the England team, that doesn't offset the, like, as good as Reece James or Kyle Walker is on the ball, or Trent as good as they are on the ball. So maybe you turn Wan-Bissaka into the third center back. I don't know. But they're in a little bit of a predicament. I don't think if Zidane wants to come, maybe that'll be good. But language barrier, which shouldn't be much of an issue with clubs at that level, right? You have translators and all sorts. But it's not just so simple to say, get rid of him and then it'll be better. There's always the honeymoon period with a new coach, but the grass isn't always greener on the other side, is all I'll say. So for fans that want him out, totally understand, but big picture, then what? Then where do you go? Zidane is not really... Are you looking for the next Sir Alex? In which case you want a long-term solution? Is Zidane the long-term solution, or you want another stopgap? Because what do they want? What do they want from that manager? And I think they don't know. They being the United board, I don't think they know what they want for the next coach. And that's going to create problems, because otherwise you're just going to go through kind of the Chelsea cycle of, right, and it works for Chelsea, but it's not really worked for United because they were built off having consistency, having Sir Alex be there. And so that's a mindset shift as a club that they're in no man's land, really. They got to pick one or the other, right? Solskjaer's been there too long. If they want to go with the Chelsea model, Solskjaer's been there too long. That's just my opinion. It's kind of but if they want to go the consistency model, they've got to keep him there for another season or two, probably, which sucks because then that's the end of Ronaldo, really. So they got to pick one or the other, and they're picking neither, really. Well, that's not true. They're choosing to stick by him. I just don't think that's. I don't know. They're in a really difficult spot, and I don't know. All right, enough rambling with that for now. All right, West Ham beat Spurs. Good win for West Ham. They're playing well still. They're in fourth, right? So again, pushing for Europe. And Prem is shaping up again to be competitive, right? Like the top three teams all have conceded. Well, Liverpool have conceded 6. But aside from that, Chelsea have only conceded 3 in 9 games. City only conceded 4. They're all scoring 20 plus. It's a 3-horse race. United they're not keeping up. Arsenal are looking good as well. Their win at Crystal Palace. So I don't know. Who knows? I think it'll be top 3, and then 4 through 8 is going to be super competitive, with no one wanting 8th place because it puts them into the Europa Conference League, which no one even knows what it is. And so, that's good. It's just another competition that UEFA have decided that they want to bring some more money. UEFA. Who knows? All right. And then finally, we'll go with El Clasico. Real Madrid 2-1 winners. David Alaba, banger. And then Lucas Vazquez, a scrappy goal, which he just outfights Eric Garcia to the ball. And then Kun Aguero grabbing his first for Barcelona in the 90th plus 7th, so 97th minute. I think Barca are in a similar situation to United in terms of the fact that they're kind of in no man's land, and can't really do a whole lot about it, which is unfortunate for the fans, but I think they're going to have to go through a rebuilding period. I think the future looks bright, right? Like La Masia, I don't know if Pedri came through La Masia or not. I think he was bought. But Gavi, Pedri, Ansu Fati, like Eric Garcia, Dest, like all these young players, if they keep them and Xavi comes back as the coach from Al Sadd, I think he's at, where he's winning, then they could start to rebuild, and I think they'll be okay. Basically, they'll have to ship off all the deadwood, fix the financial problems, which I know is way easier said than done. But they're just gonna have to go with youth, if it's me. Like Coutinho, what's wild to me about Coutinho is that he looked good when he came on, but he doesn't play. So I don't know what's going on over there. They're in trouble. Obviously, they're in no man's land. They got to pick a direction and go with it. They just got to go full stop. Like if they're gonna work on getting rid of the debt, then they got to do that full stop. They can't be talking about renovating the stadium and buying Erling Haaland and doing all these other things. Like no big transfer fees. Ship out all the deadwood. Umtiti, I know he wants to go. Just let him run his contract down. Go. Coutinho, gone. Like you're gonna have to. PK and Busquets probably can stay because of the DNA, the Barcelona DNA. But like Ousmane Dembele, gone. Aguero, gone. Depay, they're gonna have to keep because they just signed him. And then De Jong, I think they should keep as well, unless they get a bonkers transfer fee for him, and then they should go. Then they should let him go. Apparently, City and Bayern are interested in him. But yeah, I don't know. And Real Madrid are looking decent. I think a 2-1 win there it helps them out, right? They bounce back from the 2 losses, or the loss and the draw in the last 2 league games. They're sitting 1 point behind first place. They got a better goal difference. I think they'll be okay. They got a game in hand as well, so I think they'll be fine. I think we're looking at a Madrid Atletico title race. I know Sociedad and Sevilla are up there, but I don't think the consistency will stay. And yeah, it's been a little bit of a longer one, but with that, we'll wrap this weekend roundup up. If you're enjoying the comment, remember to like, comment, subscribe. Yeah, let me know if you want to be featured in one of these. Shoot us a DM at WorldXP Soccer on Instagram. Always looking for new thoughts and perspective on the weekend's games, or even the Champions League predictions, man. Just shoot me a DM. With that, we'll talk to you guys later. Peace.